First question tonight is talking about lighting. Someone had posted that they were kind of coming from the club world, and they were wondering to get started with lighting for their wedding world that they wanted to move into. What would we or what would people recommend for that? So, gentlemen, lighting, to get started, where do you go?
Find it humorous that we were just having this conversation right before we came on about lighting and frustrations. I'm a big believer in just wash lights. I don't like the idea of the dot effects and the definitely not the lasers and strobes. You kind of have to be a little bit careful of. Plus, if you get software, you can emulate some of the strobing type effects. So I'm a big believer in the wash types effects. The 4 bars from Cubby are nice. You've also got, I don't know if the dot pars from ADJ are still around. I haven't heard much mention of them, but it's kind of that same style where you're just kind of having a nice wash light. If you do like the ability to have effects, I would say step up to the gig bar, more specifically the new gig bar move. It's going to be a little bit of money that you're going to be shelling out, but you're going to get a lot of ability and a lot of effects, and the lights are brighter in the ILS, the new one, than the old version. But Cubby, you got something else.
Well, yeah, I do have the Cubby MTX sticks, but if I was coming originally from club work into weddings and I didn't have a large budget just yet, I would probably do the same as you, get the wash lights. I learned how to use them. No spit and pukes during the first dance and formal dances. Learn how to use them so it's just a nice wash that it does either wash out the bride's dress and, or like you said, the lasers all over their faces during the first dance, because photographers will hate you if you tend to put too many effects lights during the formal dances. But simple wash, I love I started with the Cubby gig bar myself. They really enjoyed it. Moved up to the gig a little later, and then I got the Cubby MTXs.
And I think that can't be overstated. The idea of learning how to run your lights properly and running them properly for the events. And I say there's two, is that you can control lights with the remote control, or you can just have them plugged in and let them go. But if you're using a remote control, especially if it's a multi-function light, you can do things, make it more focus. The wash can run for a while, or this, whatever. So utilizing the light to its greatest ability, and then making it work for the event properly. So when I'm making an announcement, I don't want lights going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Cubby just mentioned some great little things, literally to the point where you could go through and make kind of a little guideline, or you take some of the little tips of what people have talked about when it comes to lighting and make that little cheat sheet for you and keep it there, because there's times where when I was first getting into lighting with my shows, I would have the lights and I'd be making an announcement and they're going boom, boom, because they were basically on kind of a timer. And they were going, or I'm doing a slow song and the lights are going really, it's like, no, I want my lights to go and enhance the situation. I don't want them to compete with the situation. I want them to enhance the situation. So really I think, Cubby, that's a great angle, is to learn how to run them properly. And I have to go with them with the idea of the wash lights are just so universal, and they are age-wise, they can work. It makes the room a color so that the younger folks, it gives them like, ooh, this is kind of cool. And it doesn't put those beams in the eyes of grandma and grandpa to the point where they're like, yeah, this is like looking at headlights and I'm going home right now, if you run them properly. So.
Well, I'm out. I got my good question for the night. I'm out.
Yeah.
Kidding. I don't have any good ones. I'm kidding.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's already done for the night. That's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, let's go to our second question of the night.